Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer. Welcome to my Sunday chat. I'm recording this Saturday evening for Sunday morning. So, the week we've just had has been, well, I wasn't quite sure whether it was a good week or a bad week, really, in terms of my videos, because I wasn't at one point thinking that I had done a great deal because the weather had been a bit bleak, and I was aware that I'd done My Story and then a Living Alone, but I'd forgotten that I'd also been into East Sussex for, well, 3 videos, if I remember rightly, this week. We'd been to Ringmer and then 2 others, and there's so much more to go and look at in East Sussex. And it's fantastic. And it's lovely to sort of contrast that with the West Sussex. And also, as you would have seen in yesterday's video, I was near Ford at Tortington, which was a lovely church down there, and then off to the Priory, which of course I was unable to get into. But more about that video a little bit later on. So all in all, I was just sort of thinking that the videos this week had been a bit tough because of the weather, and it was touch and go where I can, but actually we had better weather than I thought. Now, it does look like we've got some grim weather coming up, so I'm not quite sure what I shall do. Trying to make a video every day, I want to get the balance about right, and I want to be out and about as much as I possibly can. But sometimes that's quite tricky, so I don't want to give you too many indoor ones because I feel that if I do that, I'm somehow cheating you. But I hope that you don't take it that way. I hope that, they're always a bit of a surprise. Where is he today type thing. So that's that. As ever, I have a list of things to chat about, so we'll crack on straight away. The Living Alone videos have been going down reasonably well. The first one went down very well, and I was very encouraged by that to carry on. So we've had episode 4, and now it's about 5 weeks since my youngest son and his girlfriend had moved out. And so I wanted to explore the idea of what it's like living on your own and doing up my house. Now, I was chatting to my son about this, Stanley, my eldest, and he said, you've got this opportunity. You could do much more about doing up the house and restoring it back to the Victorian look. He said, I'm sure a lot of people would be fascinated and that could up the numbers. And I thought, yes, that's true, but that is a full-on project. And I think that you would really have to get the channel dedicated to doing that. It wouldn't be quite a big project as in the Regency Townhouse, which of course is a charity and is doing a massive house, far, far bigger than my little terrace. But I'm guessing that people would be interested in it. But, I really only want to get the house up to some sort of standard that I can once again invite people round for a cup of tea, move my office out of the main front room into the back room, so it's more of a reception room that people can come and, as I say, have a visitation when we're all allowed to do all of that, which is pretty soon now, I think, isn't it? And also sort of get the studio up and running, which it pretty much is, the other studio and all of that. I'm not sure that with my house and the age and the sort of the detail that it would need, that I could really try and run that as well as the other Bald Explorer stuff. I think it would be a completely dedicated channel. But I thought it was a great idea because no matter what the weather, you could crack on with something and take the viewer with you, which goes back to my idea that I had last year that I was talking about, and that was wanting to buy some land. And if I could only find, the ideal thing that I think many a YouTuber would love to have is a ramshackle old building that's falling to bits and a bit of land. And the videos are about how you turn this thing into a going concern, whether that be a small holding or something else, and that you improve the house, you keep the ceiling up, and you're all contained. You haven't got to go anywhere. I mean, that's the beauty of it, that this whole area that you've got with the land, a little bit of land, and you may have chickens and some pigs and things like that, and the house and doing up the house, it's all one giant set. And every day you could do something. There would be a million jobs, and you could take the viewers in. They could see you the ups and downs, the elations and the depressions of it. And in a way, that would be perfect for me. I'd love that sort of thing. Whereas my house, because I've lived in it for 30 years, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. There is a lot of jobs, but they're sort of small, niggly jobs, and I really don't think that many people would be that interested. Plus the fact that the channel is about heritage, landscape, and nature, and I don't want to keep it honed right down to that one thing. So I've still got to go out and about and try and do things, and people are very generous, and they say some lovely things to the videos. So at the moment, I'm just plodding on with what I'm doing. But it would be lovely to have something that's more in your control, so no matter what the weather is, you've always got something that isn't going to cost you an arm and a leg to go and do, or you haven't got to travel anywhere. But anyway, I'm working on that. Talking of travel, yes, you may have noticed I haven't managed to get another Sussex border walkout this week, and I'm feeling very remorseful about that, and I do apologise. I know people are interested in that, and because that one is quite a simple project, and every step of the way you know where I'm going to go, and I know where I'm going to go. I really want to be able to film them in a particular style and keep the quality up, and that means that I'm waiting for the right sort of morning, still air, lovely sunshine, first thing in the morning when nobody is about. And also having done enough research and working out where I'm going and parking. So the whole aspect of that is for me quite problematic. I mean, I could just turn up like I do on any of my other walks with the camera and not on its gimbal and do in the same style as the other walks, but I sort of set my style, and I feel that I would be cheating. I don't know why I feel this. This is just me, and it's the way I work. I feel I would be cheating if I didn't keep up the same style that I normally do it, the Sussex Border Walk. You'll notice there is a slightly different style. One is on a gimbal and the shots are constantly moving, which is how the Sussex Border one works. And the other one is a mixture of vlogging stuff and the tripod stuff. Anyway, just letting you know, I'm aware that I haven't done it. But I was down in West Wittering today seeing my son. They've taken a little holiday cottage down there, and they invited me over for lunch, and that was very kind. So I had a little look round whilst we were down there, things that I could film. So I'm hoping if we get the right weather, I'll be down there soon. Sorry, I am making more excuses for not being good enough. Now, I am very thankful to Paul Rampton, who got in touch with me only this morning as I record this, because he said, I've been watching your video on My Story where you're talking about your Super 8 filming, which was a film called Plug Your Ears, and it was entertaining. If you haven't seen it, I do a talk about one of the Super 8 films that I made back in the day when I first moved into this house, in actual fact. And this room that I'm in now, on the other side of the wall, other side of the room, became an earplug testing station, believe it or believe it not. This house has been, every room in this house has been, apart from I think the loo, has been a set for something or other. Anyway, Paul got in touch because I had said my film, I keep calling them videos, my film, which here it is, Plug Your Ears, is on Super 8. And he said, I have got a device, a special device, which is a film scanner that photographs each individual frame. So you don't just switch it on a projector and, play it at the wall and then film it with a camera or anything like that. It's a bit more of a professional thing. Takes a bit longer because it photographs each frame, but it's kinder on the film. And he said very generously that he would bring it over one day and we could sit there and put this film through it. So this is the roll of film, he says, trying to open it up. And it is in 18 frames per second, and it says it's got sound on it, made in 1992. Oops, a daisy, I'm breaking my studio here at the same time. Called Plug Your Ears. That's a bit of leader tape. I don't know if you can see, there are sprockets, very small sprockets. There are loads and loads of frames, and this device would, normally you would thread this on a Super 8 projector, and it's all here. That's black, but a black leader. You start with white leader, then black leader, and then it goes into the film. Anyway, I won't unspool all of it because that would spoil it. But it's all ready. Now, I don't know how big that is. I think it's a 400-foot spool, if I remember rightly. He said his device takes 9 inches, so I think it would take that all right. So, so that was my film. I don't know whether your device, Paul, if you're watching, I don't know if it does standard 8 as well, because I've got a few standard 8s, I think. Bigger sprockets. I think you might just be able to see the bigger sprockets on that. I'm not quite sure what's on most of my standard 8, but it'd be fascinating to give it a whirl. Anyway, so as soon as we've done that, if we've done that, I'll at least be able to show you some snippets of it. And also I want to be able to put the music that I had specially composed for it and build up the sound effects and things and do it as a silent film. So it'd take a little bit of time, but I thought it would be an interesting project to share. We would film how we do it and then share it with you, and you'd be able to see the whole process, which would be fantastic. So from something in 1992, what are we talking? 29 years later, there could be a chance that the film gets released, which would be fantastic. So, something to look forward to. Now, I said earlier that I would talk a little bit about the film I did, which has gone out today, about Tortington. There was a moment in the film when I was out filming that I walked through this field of crops. I don't know what the crops were, a big green field of something. And I was talking about the footpath, if you remember. When I arrived there were these guys doing a bit of surveying. And I filmed a sequence which in the end didn't make the edit. Sometimes I do film stuff and I think, I don't know, this is a bit shaky ground. Maybe I shouldn't include this. And I don't put them in the video. And so sometimes that's what you get, is lost on the cutting room floor, as they say. But somebody said to me in the comments on the video, which as I do this, it was yesterday's video, was that, you didn't mention about the nasty 4-lane A27 that's going to be cutting right in front of the Tortington lawn. And I thought, that's interesting, because actually the surveyors were there and they've obviously cut an area where this must be going through. But I was speculating and I wasn't sure, but clearly this is the thing. So let me play this in. If I can get my mouse to do this. I'm doing this all in the studio live, as it were, recorded as live, if you see what I mean. This is the bit that I didn't include in the video, and you'll see that I actually mention it. I'm listening, I can hear ground nesting birds twerping around. Or are they up in the sky? Maybe they're swallows or skylarks, whatever they are. That I think they're in the air, actually. I can't film them, they're too far away. I just passed this great big cutting in this field, and it's interesting because as I arrived in the field there are a bunch of guys with high-vis jackets on and equipment in their hands, and I think they were surveying, and I've got a sneaky feeling that maybe they are surveying for the new A27 road. Up ahead is Tortington Wood, and beyond that is Binstead, and I know that there was plans for the A27 to go south of Arundel through Binstead Woods. I've got a sneaky feeling that's what this is, going to come across this land instead. So this very peaceful, rural piece of flat, perfect farmland may, and this is speculation, so I don't know, may have been sold to the Highways Agency to be turned into part of the A27 that will head towards Chichester from Crossbush, which is immediately to my right, to my east. I wonder if that is it. There's a lot of traffic around, I noticed as well, big traffic. I'm thinking that's what they're doing, surveying these different options. Anyway, this isn't getting me to my destination, so let's crack on. So anyway, I did film it, and I didn't address it properly. I should have put it in the video, but I wasn't 100% sure that's what it was. But when you think about it, what else could it be? But if you know anything about that, do let me know. There's a whole load of this A27 improvement that's going on at the moment, and it is going to cause a hell of a lot of damage. Now, I know we've got to drive our cars on the roads, and I know that business has got to get from A to B, and I know that there are snags and snarls and all that sort of stuff, and there's arguments on both sides. I appreciate that. But I suppose what I'm trying to do is show, if I can, the landscape that we have and what will be lost. It may be lost for a good cause. There'll be many people who will say, oh no, we've got to have these roads because it's a nightmare otherwise. And there'll be plenty of people who say, but we can't lose the landscape. So it's a difficult thing. I don't know what the answer is, but I feel my job is to at least record what was there before it's gone. So that was really what that was about. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, before we come to the end of this, I have been making some purchases to try and improve and keep the quality up of my videos. A couple of things here. These are what's known as filters, and they just arrived today, so I'm very thrilled about that. I picked them up from the locker, the Amazon locker near me, which is very convenient if you're out and about. So one, let's have a look. I don't know whether I haven't opened them or even looked at them. This is one called Gobe, I think. Like Vobe, Gobe. I think that's probably why I bought it. I don't want this to... I don't know if it's taped down. This is the first time I've taken it out the box. But it's a filter. In theory, I think one of them is which one is this? This is an ND filter. So that's like sunglasses for your camera. It reduces the amount of light. So on these very sunny days, I can't open this. I don't know whether it... Oh yes, it screws like this. So on those sunny days, you can reduce the light coming in so that you can open the lens more and reduce your depth of field. It's a thing in photography, and here this is what it looks like. It's just a piece of glass, basically, like that. And obviously, the more money you can spend on it, the better quality the glass, the less vignetting it does, and things like that. But that's that one. And the other one from a different make, because I'm really not sure which makes. I've got both of these on various cameras. This one is, I know it's a bit like Christmas, isn't it? What's he going to do? How does this one open? Here we go. This one is called a UV filter. So it's basically a clear piece of glass, and you shove it on the front of the camera. It's to protect the lens mostly, but it also cuts out the UV light, which is quite good to help certain things. It's not a polarizing filter, which is, I think a polarizing filter is great for cutting out light when you're filming in water, so you can see fish through the water, and it stops a lot of the reflections. Whereas a UV, I'm really not sure what a UV filter is good for. Somebody would tell me, but I mean, you know, I just make videos really, and I try and learn these things. But I know it's an ideal, especially in the rain and things like that. You don't want to damage your lens, so I always have something on the lens. So that's what that is. Finally, though, if I can pick this up without destroying, I've got this. What the hell is this, you might ask? Because we've had a bit of rain, and the rain forecast for the next few days is wet, I don't like not being able to get out, but I don't want to hurt my new camera. I say new, I've had it since Christmas. So I bought myself, this isn't a hat, it isn't a gas bag, it is a thing that you put over your camera, a DSLR camera. So that's where the lens pokes out here. I don't know how much you can see of this. The back of the camera is at this end, and when your camera is in it, I'll have to demonstrate this on a video or something and show you it working. When your camera is in it, you can get to it this way, and because of the clear panel here where my hand is, you can see the monitor and all of that. So the idea is that you can, at least when it's raining, it's small and light, folds up, and I should be able to go out and film even when it's raining. So, I just don't want to have an excuse to stop the production. Otherwise, I'll be sitting there, at home with my slippers on, smoking my pipe. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed today's Sunday chat. It's been a bit different, hasn't it? Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Become a patron. do support what I do if you can. It all helps to pay for these little bits and pieces to keep the videos going. I'm trying to up the quality as much as I can. I am only a one-man band. And of course it helps put diesel in the car and take me into the various places. And soon we're going much further afield, out of Sussex into other counties. So more on that coming soon. I'm doing my best. So thank you very much. Anyway, look after yourselves, he says, looking for the mouse to turn this off. Take care, and I'll see you on the next Sunday chat. And of course, out and about on location. Till then, bye-bye.